Alright, I had to take a little bit of a time travel here in my vaping experience to go ahead and do this review for you. We're going back a little bit, and this is going to be the EonSmoke. This is an 808 kit, an 808 battery with a standard cartomizer, and of course it comes from EonSmoke. I am Steve Perry from SmokingTheBandwidth.com, and I am slaving over a hot cartomizer to bring you the best electronic cigarette news, views, and reviews available on the World Wide Web. And why are we talking about EonSmoke today? Well, they hit me up and they said that they would like me to do a review of their product. And at first I told them I probably wasn't the best person, because it is a ways back for me to use a kit like this. However, there's a lot of people out there who hate these things, the cig-alikes, a lot of people who have advanced past them and don't appreciate them for the value that they have. And here is the value that they have. Of course, the negatives we all know is a short battery life. There's not a lot of flexibility to what you can put on these things. It's pretty much cartomizers. There's a few clearomizers, but you're not going to get really revolutionary products to put on these things. And the reason why you're not is because they are basically an entry-level kit. That having been said, some people like to stick with them because they are simplistic. You've got the cartomizer, you've got the battery, you screw it on, it's not going to leak, it's not going to flood, unless you fill it yourself and you don't blow it out after you fill it. But it's really that simple. You just screw it on and you use it. Now in this case, what we have here is an automatic battery, so there's no button to push. You just drag and exhale. Now as you see there, it's decent vapor production off this. And I'm not taking a primer puff. Of course, I typically use dual coil stuff, so it's reduced from what you usually see from me. But compared to other 808s, not bad. This here is the President flavor. And what they sent me 4 flavors. They sent me tobacco. Did I get that? Yeah, okay, it's upside down on my side. They sent me tobacco, menthol, frost, and the flavor I'm vaping right now, President. I told them I wanted tobacco and menthol flavors because I primarily vape tobacco. I also do like menthol. And this is a good flavor here, this President. I was surprised by it. Now, when I used an 808 kit, I used V2 cigs, and they had a couple different tobacco flavors, and I actually prefer this over the different tobacco flavors that I have tried from V2. Now, the regular standard tobacco, you know, it's a tobacco flavor. It's good, it's decent, not great. The regular menthol, same thing, good. A good menthol flavor. One of the complaints you get a lot with the 808s, which of course you pretty much are limited unless you want to fill the cartomizers yourself. But as a beginner level, where you're going into the store and buying these, or you're buying them online, you're limited to what flavors they have to offer. These are, of course, interchangeable. You could use these flavors on these cartridges on your V2 batteries. And menthol is always a complaint. I notice really over at V2. Now I happen to be alright with their menthol, but a lot of menthol smokers trying to make the transition, it's not really like a menthol cigarette. And it's the same with their menthol, but I got this frost, okay? Now this, if you look at this cartomizer, I have no idea why they wrapped it with this. It's horrible, but you can always peel that sticker off of there. I mean, if you're a girl, you're probably going to like that wrapper. Myself, I'm not a big fan of it. However, the flavor, on these is fantastic. It's got a tobacco and a menthol. It's really very similar to a Salem cigarette. It's not the harshness of a Cool, It's not the more dominant tobacco with the menthol in the background like a Newport. This is more like a Salem, where the two wrap together very nicely. There's maybe a hint of a mintiness to it. But a definite tobacco in your menthol. I mean, it's a great. I was really surprised by this one. The Frost, if you're a menthol smoker, this is probably something you're going to want to check out. Now, the kit on a whole, the kit they sent me, where did I put it? It includes one battery. It's their economy kit. I think it's like 25 bucks. It includes this small USB charger, one battery, 2 cartridges. Value-wise for EonSmoke, you can do a lot worse for more money. You really can. If you're vaping something like a Mystic, a Metro, a Blue, and you're buying it at the store, you're probably paying more money than you will for the EonSmoke, and you're probably not getting as good a quality. But that having been said, you can also do better for less money. If you're buying at a gas station, basically, the EonSmoke is probably a step up from what you're getting. If you're buying online and you're using 808s, they're definitely towards the higher end. They're not the best, though. V2 is what I use. I personally think it's better than this one, but this is good. But here's what intrigued me about this. Here's why I was even willing to do this review. This is their disposable. It comes in a little pack like this, and the disposable you pull out, it's got a little tab on the end that you got to take off, which we're going to do right now. For some reason, I love the concept of these small disposables. If you look at this, this is basically the size of a cigarette. Let me toss that on the porch for now and try to get this sticker off my finger. And yes, I'm going to pick up that trash. I'm not going to let it blow around. What did I do with it? Here it is. Size comparison. If you look at the diameter of these two, the I don't know if you can even tell, but the rechargeable is slightly longer, and then with the cartridge on it, the diameter is slightly larger on the battery, but with the cartridge on it, this is a longer kit. Now it's because it's got a bigger battery and longer battery life, but here you see side by side, let's get them lined up at the end, and there's a difference in size. So this is very similar to a cigarette, a king-size cigarette. For a little disposable, it's solid vapor production. It's really good flavor. It's rare to bump into these where they got the same flavor in this as they have in this. This is the same flavor. The reusable President, the disposable President, same flavor. Now, if you go to my review at smokeyandthebandwidth.com, I'm going to have a picture of one of these taken apart so you can see the battery. This is the killer on these things. The battery life is crap. But one thing I've noticed with them is if you use them, basically, if you use and reuse these, in other words, let's say you're a smoker and you're going to the bar and you're going to be there for like an hour and you don't want to have to go outside to smoke, so you pick up one of these and you use it over the course of the hour that you're at the bar. You put it back in your pocket. Then tomorrow you're going to work and you got a carpool little 20-minute ride where you're riding with someone else. You can't smoke in their car. You whip this out and use it. These things are going to last you, using them that way, for several days, you know, and you're going to get a certain level of satisfaction out of a $10 product. If you plan to just sit around vaping, you're going to get 2 hours out of these. I sat down watching a football game, and mind you, I'm a heavy vapor, okay? I am a chain vapor. So if you're a moderate to light vapor, you can your time on one of these might go up to 4, 5, 6 hours, okay? But you're not going to get all day out of these, even as a light vapor. And that's the knock on them, is a short battery life. I just love the concept that I can put this in my pocket. I can go into a bar. It looks like a cigarette. It feels like a cigarette. And if you're a smoker trying to make the transition or just needing something to get you through small periods of your day, this is a good product. If you're trying to make the switch to e-cigarettes, this probably can kind of jump you there, but it's just going to be too expensive. So as far as the disposables go, this is the best disposable that I have used yet. But the battery life is a killer on these things. Anyhow, that's all I got for you. This is my review of EonSmoke. You can check them out at eonsmoke.com, and you can get more information on them on my review, which will be linked below at smokeyandthebandwidth.com.